I run in Fountain Hills near where I live, and it's just a way to get out of the city, and it's very quiet out there. And when I run, that's when I'm actually writing in my head. That's when the scenes come together and I can picture them as I go. Sure, this is kind of like career number 4. Started in the military first. I was 9 years active duty as a helicopter pilot. Then I worked at Intel Corporation for 4 years, and for the last 13 years, my husband and I have run a triathlon coaching company called Camelback Coaching here in Phoenix. While I am coaching and running, I think of ideas for my books. And 7 years ago, I was out running and I was listening to music, and I had just finished reading a novel, and I was contemplating what to read next. And that led me to think about what would be Anne's ultimate escape novel. What would that be? And by the end of the run, I had the premise for a story. And I got home, I sat down at my computer, and then I wrote the first chapter of the story I wanted to read. So that's how my writing started. This passage is from my book, Hover. The first scene takes place in something called a helodunker, which is a device that simulates a helicopter crash landing in the ocean. Frigid water fills the cockpit. It seeps into my boots and crawls up my flight suit, slipping through the zippers and finding every seam. I struggle against the straps that bind me to my seat, the water moving steadily upward, flowing around my waist, sliding up my torso, encircling my chest. It is dark. I can't see the water, but I hear it, sloshing over my shoulders, licking at my neck, splashing and gurgling, inching toward my ears. The cockpit rolls right. I crane my helmeted head upward, stealing one last breath before I'm pulled under. The aircraft tumbles. I grab at the seat rails, muscles rigid, holding myself in place. My instincts scream to disconnect the harness and free myself immediately. But I remember the instructions from my training. Wait until all violent motion stops. Shivering, I continue to roll. God help me. Seconds stretch to eternity when you're strapped in and held underwater upside down against your will. Hover is my debut novel. It came out in June 2015. And my second novel is going to come out in July of 2016. Macmillan was great. They gave me a 2-book deal. The second book is called Clear to Lift. That's going to be about search and rescue. So with both, you're going to get helicopter flying.